Hello, everyone. It is time to debunk some rumors.
Yeah, and I feel like I know we've made this video before.
We have.
It's a lot of people out there are gonna have similar experiences dealing with their own situations where there's people out there that just want to bring you down, constantly share and reshare false information, reaching out to anybody and everybody that you may know. And we've seen it, we've experienced it. Some
Flying
people,
monkeys.
yeah. So there's people out there just, acting as if these people who have a history of sharing false and misleading information. There's people out there accepting it as true, and
then when they regurgitate it, it's so obvious where the source is from.
Yeah, and it just gets. I mean, honestly, it just gets tiring at some point. So. I know we've spoken about a lot of this. Heather, when she posts it, she's going to link to the prior episode, so you can see like we're not just responding to one thing. Like we've shared this information before.
We have shared these harassing emails and the lies and the stalking and the harassment. Several times.
I mean, generally, what we're talking about is unfortunately in the family court corruption, child protection services corruption realm. There's a lot of different people out there, and people have different motivations. And we've seen it now several times where there's different groups and individuals within the groups, either to make a name for themselves or to just be a troll and cause havoc, will
chaos.
Follow somebody, start getting some names for some of the people in their case, and then trying to reach out to those people.
Yeah.
Or you get those flying monkeys in your own case, seeing that you're involved with different groups, and then they try to reach out to those groups.
Yeah, because they have nothing better to do with their lives because they're retired old hags.
Yeah. And so the I
told you this is going to be a fun one.
Better. So yeah, I just need to be ready on that button a little bit better.
What can I say? I mean, I'm being nice.
I mean, it really is. And I mean, here's the thing: we're going to show some screens for anybody watching the video version of this. If you're listening to the podcast version of this in the future, I encourage you go over to the YouTube channel, watch the video, because we're gonna show you the actual pictures of the screen captures, actual emails. So we're just gonna go through it.
Think of this as a Zoom where someone is sharing their screen in the Zoom conference, and you're able to see their screen. That's basically what we're gonna do in the podcast.
Yeah.
We've done this previously, so
yeah. So, and it's, again, the reason we're doing this is just, this has sort of reared its ugly head again.
Oh, yes, it has.
With there are multiple people out there. It's not even just one person, but multiple people have been reached out to by a couple of Heather's flying monkeys, and they're just regurgitating the same old lies, which we've covered before, but we'll go through them again. We're trying to do this quick. It's late. We're tired, but we felt we needed to address it because it's just getting out of hand.
Before we do anything else, I want to take a moment. Thoughts and prayers are with Jamaica, Cuba, Haiti, all of the islands that are in the path of Hurricane Melissa. Yeah. As a geologist, I've been studying these storms since 2004. I now teach high school marine biology, and we actually just had our module on hurricanes. So, of course, the last 2 days I've been educating my high schoolers on these rapid intensification storms. So my day was spent half the day doing ACT proctoring, and then the other half was educating my students on Hurricane Melissa.
Yeah, and I mean, I can say, we live here in Central Florida. I've been through numerous hurricanes. I can also tell you I've never been through a direct hit from a Category 5. The last Category 5, the last Category 5 that was sort of tracking to come toward us was Hurricane Dorian a couple years ago. And I can tell you, when you're looking at a Category 4, Category 5 hurricane and it's coming at you, it is not a good feeling. So everybody in Jamaica, who has been staring at this forecast.
And she was going slow. She was crawling. And the slower she went, the more energy she sucked up.
The meteorologist had been, following this pretty strongly for the last, week and a half, identifying that it was going to be a nasty storm. And here we are. And some of the videos you've seen earlier today coming out of Jamaica were pretty bad. It seems like a lot of the videos now, everything's cut off because they've lost service.
A lot of the videos that you find online are just loops at this point because they've lost power and internet.
I think the world is going to be shocked when daylight comes and some news
So my day was spent as a teacher helping these high schoolers with their ACTs, and as a scientist educating my high schoolers on Hurricane Melissa. And then in between was all the drama trickling into my Facebook Messenger because of my local flying monkeys and resident stalkers here in Daytona, Florida, wreaking havoc with a certain advocate in the community that likes to be the bigger bully. So we are going to debunk quite a few things that have been posted in that Facebook group.
So you want to hear something funny real quick?
What's that?
I did not have the volume turned up before when I hit the button, so only you. So I have to be on the censor button. So you're going to see some funny thing where I'm talking about hitting a button and there was no sound.
Gotcha.
But, yeah.
All right, yeah. So it's been a long day for me as an educator and as a scientist, but I felt this was necessary because I am a public school teacher, and these posts have been made publicly on this Facebook group for the whole world to see. So we are going to be addressing them.
All right, so let's get into this. First things first, you wanted to sort of quickly show the progression of your case, starting originally in Illinois. So
and Tiger is shedding all over me, so I'm sorry I got cat hair in my mouth.
He wanted to be on the podcast.
So we are going to share our screen, and we're going to start with my Illinois Circuit 19 docket. So this is me logged in. You can see my name right here and log out, so you know I'm logged into my account. And any and all cases that have ever had anything to do with me are in here. Now, let's click on my name and my cases. What do you see here?
Well, wait a second, because online you are a massive criminal
right.
that's been arrested 100 times.
Yeah.
Where'd everything go?
Exactly. My point exactly. That's why I want to show the world this. So what we have here is my 13D, stands for divorce, 981, so 2013 divorce, case number 981, Serlick versus Serlick. So this is me, Heather Serlick, versus Justin Serlick, dissolution of marriage. So this is me divorcing Justin Serlick.
Back in 2013.
Yeah, June. So the official completion date was June 25th. So let's put this in perspective. My attorney, Dennis Gravel of Gurnee, Illinois, filed my divorce on May 28th, 2013. My divorce was finalized June 25th of 2013, less than a month.
And for the next 7 years, somebody refused to move out of your house.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, because he went from living with his parents to living with me when I was married to someone else, and then marrying me, and then divorcing me, and then refusing to move out of my house with my children for 7 years. And I finally had to just be done with the whole situation in 2020. And we're going to show you how all of this began. So we're going to view case.
We've got a lot to cover, so we can't hover on this for too
view
long.
Case and then documents filed. So let's see. How many documents are there in my divorce? And, so this is actually showing... Tiger, you got to get down. So this is actually... It looks like they did finally do what they said they were going to do. It looks like they did actually consolidate. They said that they was consolidated, and then I was like, no, there's nothing in my old case. So anyways, so this is the very first thing filed. Affidavit, declaration, waiver, stipulation, all pretty standard divorce procedure. Okay, and then we're going to get up to the stuff. So, you know what? It's not letting me actually open my divorce because this would be it right here. Filed. judgment. It's not letting me open it. Only recent stuff. So 2020. All right. So we can't show you my actual divorce in this particular screen, which is fine. I've plastered it all over the place. But essentially, June 24th of 2013, I was awarded sole legal custody of Ariana, Tommy, and Bianca. Charlie did not exist yet. Justin had reasonable visitation, and he paid $585 a month in child support for 3 children. That's it. And as you can see here, it goes from 2013 to, and I'm honestly not even sure what that is, 2015, to 2020. So 7 years. So here's my divorce. Here's 2020. This was me rehiring Dennis Gravel in 2020 when Justin Serlick informed the children and I that he was moving down to Daytona to live with his parents, and he was fully aware that the children and I were staying in Illinois. So this was our very first court hearing. So I just want you guys to see, like, this was all me versus him. And then all of this up here is just continuations of that case, okay? So we're going to back out of this one. Oh, it is. So they definitely consolidated. Yeah. Do you remember the other day? So here we are again. Things are changing in the moment. So the other day, this said closed, and this was red. And all of this stuff was not here. Now I have a pending appeal.
Which we thought this might happen when you filed the appeal, because the record is gonna cost a lot more now because they're gonna.
Well, you know what, whatever, because you know what, it's gonna show my divorce.
Yeah, but
so that actually benefits me. Okay. It gives them more of the record. So awesome. Right. Not complaining about that. Case. They said it was consolidated. I guess it finally is. All right. So then we go to the 20F422. So here is the...
Oh, that's interesting. You can't see anything.
Hang on. That's because we're in the parties. Yeah. All right. So here is the new 2020 case I started with Dennis Gravel a second time. And this was to have a child support modification done on my ex-husband,
because
Justin Serlick,
and add another
Charles.
Child.
Exactly. So in 2017... my youngest son, Charlie, was born, and I'm not going to get into the specifics of that. It was SA. It was not by my choice at all, but I chose to have my son, and I would have done it again in a heartbeat. But how he was conceived was not the chosen way to have a child. Anyways, so as you can see, that's it. 2 cases started by me in Illinois. Okay. So in 2021, Illinois Circuit 19 ships my children down to Daytona, Florida, like pieces of property because they sold my children to the non-custodial parent because at the time in 2021, I still had sole legal custody of them. Yeah. It wasn't until
Are you able to view the order when
2022?
The February one where they, or maybe January where they ordered you to transfer to Florida?
So February 2022, I informed Judge Slavin that I had just transferred my driver's license from Illinois to Florida. So look, right here, petitioner is granted leave to transfer to Florida.
In February, the Illinois court was made aware that the parties no longer resided in Illinois.
February 2022, my driver's license, and because Florida is such a liberal, open state with public information, you can see that my driver's license was effective in Florida as of February 8th, 2022.
Yeah, so effectively, according to Illinois state law, once the court was informed that there were no parties left in Florida, according to the Illinois Marriage Act, the Illinois court lost jurisdiction by process of law, and they should not have issued any further orders, hearings, or filings.
Nope. But do you see this? GAL, guardian ad litem, sold my children to Justin Serlick, the non-custodial parent. So we got...
Had you ever spoken... did the guardian ad litem ever speak to you?
I don't even know what she looks like because the few times she was in the Zoom meetings where I was permanently muted, she didn't have her camera on. So I have no clue what she looks like.
All right,
She could have been a fictitious person for all I know.
Yeah, let's keep going.
All right, so we're going to go to the next order here, which is the one that Justin Serlick is hiding my children behind. And we've shown this several times now.
And I want to, anybody that's looking at this docket, so Illinois and Florida have very similar rules where there has to be what's called a termination of parental rights hearing. It's a whole separate specific procedure. And you can see, because we went from February was the last hearing where they were ordered to transfer the case to Florida, to all of a sudden the very next one, April, is this order.
So this is Justin Serlick's attorney and the Serlicks terminating his child support to me permanently, literally permanently. They terminated my child support. And then, what does it say right here? Failing to appear. The petitioner failing to appear. So what does that mean in legal terms?
So, well, ultimately, it means you were not there.
What's
so
the legal term for it?
The entire hearing was conducted ex parte.
Thank you. That is the legal term we're looking for.
Again, in child custody, according to Illinois and I believe Florida law as well, they can't make final permanent custodial decisions ex parte. So that's another problem.
Failing to appear. So I was not present for this hearing, nor did I have an attorney representing me present.
No, and just so the world knows.
What happens right here?
Yeah, the reason Heather wasn't...
Complete switch of custody.
Yeah,
right here.
And I was just going to say, the reason you weren't present for the hearing was because you were actually having a medical emergency. It is documented, even though, there's people out there that are saying that you weren't, that it didn't
So
happen,
it literally went from my 2013, so 13D981, to me having full sole custody. Notice this doesn't say custody. It just says responsibilities. Nowhere in this 3-page order is custody mentioned once. You can run it through AI and it won't find custody because it doesn't exist in this 3-page document. It just says responsibilities. So he is allocated sole parental responsibilities. So right here, we confirm I'm not present. Right here, we confirm they have flipped the role from me to him and terminated his child support without me present. Okay. All right, so we go to page 2.
Number 3.
Ariana is reserved.
So they didn't make a decision for her.
Right.
Because she was still in foster
care.
She
refused to come down to Florida to live with Justin because he is abusive to her.
Yeah. So...
All right, and I was in full support of her doing what she wanted, which was emancipating herself. I almost did the same at 16 for similar reasons. So I was in full support of her staying up in Illinois where her friends were, her scouts were, her school was, and leading her own life. But no, Justin was not okay with that. He literally forced her down here later. So what does number 3 say?
The issue of parenting time and or contact between Heather and the minor children is reserved.
Reserved.
Does not say terminated.
Terminated.
In legalese, the word reserved simply means the court is going to make a decision at a later date.
And what else does that mean for this 3-page order?
It's not a permanent final order.
Exactly. It is not a permanent final order. So what does that mean for appealing this?
You can't appeal it because it's not a final order.
Exactly. If I were to, within the 30 days, appeal this order, it would have been kicked back by Illinois District 2 Appellant Court because it's a non-final order. Guys, this is happening all over the nation where judges are doing these ex parte illegal custody swaps where they're flipping it from one parent to another and then completely leaving the other parent in legal purgatory.
Yeah, and then of course when this order is brought to the Florida courts, Justin's attorney tried, if you scroll all the way to the end, the very last thing on the order mentions this matter is taken off call, basically meaning it's being taken out of rotation in the court. So Justin's attorney down here used that line to make it seem like this was a permanent, total, final order, can't ever be modified, changed.
Exactly.
Or anything.
Now, what has, in what you've witnessed since you've been with me for over 2 years now.
Almost 3.
Yeah. So you've been witnessing this for 3 years straight. Even my attorney, Rick Brown, said you are a key witness to what the Serlicks are doing. So, what else has the Serlicks done with this 3-page order?
Well, I mean,
Education.
They've taken this to the schools.
Volusia County Schools, VCS.
Presented it as if you have 0 rights. But
exactly.
the problem is,
they're making it sound like my rights are terminated.
Yeah. So this order is not a Florida order.
And what is the law in the state of Florida?
It has to be a Florida order.
Public schools, I know this as a public school employee, public schools can only, and this is Florida law, can only enforce current Florida orders.
Yeah.
Meaning if you have an out-of-state order, you need to have it converted to a Florida order in order for the schools to enforce it.
Yeah.
So they are
And
hiding, legit hiding my children behind this 3-page order.
There's specific procedures that has to go through.
Right.
And the reality is ultimately, while you had an attorney that tried to register this in Florida,
Right.
it did not actually follow the proper procedures to domesticate it.
No, none of this was done
or
properly.
to fully register it.
I fully believe that none of this was done properly on purpose.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next one, because this is basically the end, and then it goes to Florida, and then the rest of the stuff in your docket is because you have refiled something in Illinois, which we've already talked about.
Exactly.
We don't need to
so you
get
can
into
see
that anymore.
It pretty much jumps from 2022 to 2025, and that is me going back to the Illinois court and saying, you know what, I'm done with this shit in Florida. We're going to deal with this here in the court that started this chaos, because Michael G. Nurheim of Illinois Circuit 19 is connected to the Serlicks, and he's calling the shots behind the scenes.
Yeah, and the reason we say that is
we have email evidence.
There's an email evidence that he was communicating ex parte with the Heather's former Florida attorney, as well as the judge.
So this is me right here. Petition for relief from void judgment and for declaratory relief. Okay. So everything from July 18th forward is all me now fighting this in Illinois. The court that started this chaos and has taken 5 years from
and
me.
we've already in a prior video talked about the results of that hearing.
Exactly.
So let's move on, because we've got a lot more to cover.
Exactly. So now we're going to switch to my Florida docket.
So good.
Yep. Let me close out of this one so we don't go back to it. All right. So this is my Florida docket. As you can see, I'm logged in, so I'm under my account. So we are going to go to case inquiry. And can you type my name? Now, actually, I want my whole name. So I'm going to show this to you on the front public end as well as my logged in end. I don't know why that's doing that. There we go. Anybody has access to this page that you're looking at right here. You do not need a login. All you have to do is go to the page and search it, and it will show you all cases associated with this person.
Public records in the state of Florida. Florida's super broad and wide open public records laws. So
we're logged in, so I can pull open the documents because it involves minor children. It is closed, so you have to actually be assigned to the case in order to open the documents. But I'll show you the public access end in a minute. So search my name. How many cases come up, Pete?
There's one. It's you trying to modify the stuff in family court.
Do we see any domestic violence?
Nope.
Do we see any injunctions, aka restraining orders?
No.
Do we see any arrests?
No.
Anything? No, just
your
a
case.
family case, right? Okay.
Yep.
So let's click into it.
Whoop.
I need to stop bumping that microphone. All right, so what's the date here?
August 7th, 2023.
So that is the date that my first attorney, Mary Jane Nettles of New Smyrna Beach, Florida, opened my case here in Volusia County. So let's go to my docket. And you do not need to be logged in for this either. You can literally click on my docket, and then you can see every docket. You can literally see this.
Real quick, if anybody's wondering why we went from 2021 and Heather didn't open the case in Florida until 2023.
Good question.
When Heather was down here and first started trying to consult with attorneys, the attorneys that she met with told her, you can't open a case in Florida until you've been a Florida resident for a full year.
Right.
Which we have since found that not only is that wildly inaccurate, the reality is it's just that to open a family law case with children, that
6 months
the children
from when the children came down, because UCCJEA is all based on where the children are.
So the reality
not the
is, should have been able to have your lawyer open a case almost as soon as you got down here.
So I already had attorneys lying to me. So. All right, so we're going to look at the cover sheet here. This is DIN 1. Florida Circuit 7 goes by DINs, docket identification numbers. So number 1, August 7th, 2023. Here is me opening my case here in Florida Circuit 7, Volusia County. Now, you won't be able to open these, but you will be able to see the docket title and the docket identification number. So we've got the very first order, e-filed on August 8th, 9:22 a.m. What does it say right here? Remedies sought.
Non-monetary, declaratory, or injunctive relief.
Non-monetary.
Yeah. And that's because this was not registered for child support enforcement by your attorney, and no other attorney has registered it.
Exactly.
But, so that's that.
Yep. So this is how my Florida case began with my attorney and, oh, look, Heather Bendel versus Justin Serlick. Not Justin Serlick versus Heather Bendel. The Serlicks have been using their legal connections to flip everything. So literally think Darvo in legal terms. Okay. They flip everything, and I've even caught them where on orders they'll say Justin Serlick versus Heather Bendel, and that's not what the case is. Yeah. This is the case. So I just wanted you guys to see how all of this began, because my children and I story is so crazy, and it's going to be a book.
We've mentioned before how, and anybody involved in the family court system, like it is not set up to move things along in any reasonable time frame.
No, it's set up for the attorneys and judges and guardian ad litem to make you freaking poor.
It has dragged on and dragged on.
I mean, look at this. Look at everything. You saw my Illinois docket. Look at my Florida docket. So from 2023, now
we're in 2024.
Keeps going.
2025.
Keeps going. And on and on and on and on. This is how long I have been fighting just to communicate with my children on the phone. Yeah. I now have 3 appeals in District 5 Court of Appeals. 3 of them. Mm-hmm. 1 record of appeal. If we go further down, we're going to see another record of appeal, and then a 3rd one. So I have 3 open appellant cases right now in Florida District 5.
The reason we showed you the dockets is sort of just to show you, like, the case is real. It's going on.
Absolutely.
But along with that.
But this, I want to make sure everyone is perfectly clear, because this is one of the things that is going around, that my case is him going after me for $33-something thousand in child support arrears. Mm-hmm. And I promise you that is not the case. And I absolutely encourage everyone, once we show you how to do this, to see for yourself. Before believing rumors and lies from certain advocates that are supposed to be helping victims, educate yourself a little bit on the people that he is lying about, because you can literally see all of this without even logging in, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Okay. Should we just show them that now?
Yeah.
Log out? Okay. Yeah. So now we're going to log out. So you're witnessing me log out of my account. And we're just going to go back to the main page.
Clerk.org is the
www.clerk.
website for the clerk of the court of Volusia County.
Clerk.org, very easy website to remember.
She was apparently, the clerk at the time was on the ball with reserving that web domain.
Okay. So this is the main page. As you can see, we're not logged in. So this is the public domain page where you can see anything you want. Search records. Okay. So you're going to click on search records, and then public records.
Case inquiry.
You're going to go to the top link, case inquiry. And then you just have to accept the terms and conditions for the case CMS system is what we like to call them. All right. So then you're going to come to this screen. And if you have the case number, you can type that in. But I don't want to do that. I want to show you in real time for everyone out there, because I have now had multiple people asking me, does your daughter have a restraining order on you? That's what's being said. No, that is an outright lie. So all you have to do is just type my last name, tab, my first name, and then just like previously, I don't know why it's doing that, tab, there we go. All right. And then it cut my last name off. What is it doing here? Okay. Bendel, Heather. Bendl, Heather. Okay.
And notice there's no dates selected, so we're not limiting anything out. This would show anything and everything.
All we're putting in is my first and last name, and you have to have a first name. If you do not, if you just put Bendel, it's going to say we need a first name.
Yeah.
So now we're going to search.
And if we needed to prove that it would show all the cases, I could put my younger brother's name in there, and unfortunately he's big. He makes bad life decisions.
Anyways, so again, I'm going to ask you. Do you see any criminal cases?
No.
Do you see any domestic relations cases?
No, I just see the one family.
Do you see any injunctions,
No.
aka restraining orders?
Nope.
Okay. The only case in Volusia County Circuit 7 is my case that I opened on August 7th, 2023, trying to gain access to my children that Justin Serlick is holding hostage. Okay? So please, I encourage you to do your due diligence and by all means go to clerk.org, search my name, and see for yourself. There are no restraining orders on my name. There are no criminal cases on my name. Nothing.
Okay.
Now,
so let's start getting into some of the more specific.
Right. So before we go any further, though, everyone's been asking me if my daughter Ariana, who just turned 19, barely legal, basically still a child, when we're looking at child psychology and child mental health, we know that people are still maturing until age 25.
Hell,
okay?
I'm 42 and I feel like I'm still.
So a 19-year-old is still very much a child, even though she's legally able to do things on her own. She's legally able to vote, but mentally, she's still developing her brain. Okay. So we're going to search my daughter's name. What comes up? Loading.
Nothing.
We're going to do it one more time. Reset. Serlick. Ariana. Submit. What do we find under my daughter?
There's nothing.
Nope.
And that would show, if you're
Injunction.
a party on either side of it.
Yeah, it would show injunctions, restraining orders. So if my 19-year-old daughter, Ariana, had a restraining order on me, you would see it under her name, you would see it under my name. That's how injunctions work. Yeah. So we have just debunked that rumor.
Okay.
Let's just go a little further. So my son, Thomas, he is still a minor. He turns 18 in tomorrow, actually, October 29th. So this is now the 5th birthday without being able to speak to him, just like Bianca 4 days ago. So now we're going to search my 17-year-old son. Does he have anything on me?
Negative.
Nope. We're going to go one step further. Bianca, my now 14-year-old daughter. Does she have anything on me?
No.
Nope. Debunked.
And just so anybody that questions this,
debunked.
If a minor was named in the case, the case would still pop up.
Yep.
You
just wouldn't be able to open any of the documents.
Yeah. When I was a minor, there was a guardianship case open for me, so it's still, you search my name, it pops up.
Yeah. So there's rumor number one with this bigger bully advocate lying about me. That's debunked right there. So much for truth and transparency. All right. So we've showed my Illinois docket. We've showed my Florida docket. We just showed you how to search names. Do we want to show right now or later the other person?
Well, I think let's wait because to understand that one, we have to show some of the
emails,
the other stuff first.
Perfect.
So,
all right. So we're just going to
minimize.
We're going to close these extra windows because we don't need to be logged in for any of that. The only one we need to be logged in for is my
it's just us on the screen now, so you can do whatever you need on the screen.
All right. So we are going to switch to an insane amount of harassing, disgusting, and disturbing emails from Mary Margaret Serlick, 65 years old, Port Orange, Florida. Laura Edna Stiles, 65 years old, Port Orange, Florida. Like I said, retiree hacks.
And we've talked about both of them before, and we've shown some of these emails before, but because this has come up again, where there's certain people out there on the internet that are accepting as complete unadulterated truth what these two people are saying, and acting as if they are perfect elderly grandmothers out there.
Anything but.
And I can tell you, we're going to show you some of the messages that I have personally received as well. But these are, if you look at the screen now, these are emails Heather has received.
Yeah. What is the main reason? I've told you this before. What is the main reason I changed my name from Serlick back to my maiden name Bendel?
Because Serlick isn't even your children's actual biological name.
Well, that too. But in my June 24th, 2013 divorce, I switched back to my maiden name because I did not want any association with Mary and Ira Serlick. I did not want to carry their name. I did not want Ira's name attached to my identity. And it actually had nothing to do with Justin and everything to do with his parents. So
now some of these
that says all you need to know.
Some of these emails, if you look at the the subject line there, it's talking about stop contacting me. So you had sent some emails just trying to find out where your children were.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. I had sent some emails with Mary Serlick tagged, trying to find out what the hell was going on. My kids were shipped down here to them. I knew they were staying with Mary and Ira and Justin at 1048 Chelsea Way in Port Orange, Florida. Okay. So I was trying to gain access to them.
The first one there with the attachment.
So the first one is stop contacting me with nobody. Okay. Second one.
We're not going to be going through every email tonight.
Second notice, stop contacting me.
Yeah. So just
Third one.
Don't. Okay.
This is the one we wanted to show where she's gloating about stealing my children. She's literally gloating about fraudulent court orders stealing my children.
This is more than a month after the April 27th order was filed in the court. You had no idea that it was filed because you were not getting notice.
No, I was never served with that. I literally got this from her.
Yeah, so basically this was you receiving notification that this court hearing had happened and the order was submitted. And
see, right here, you failed to appear, so she's admitting that I was not there. Yeah. Just like the order says, I failed to appear. Yeah. I'm sorry. The hearing shouldn't have even happened if I wasn't there. Yeah. But more so, it shouldn't have happened because in February, I was ordered to transfer to Florida because Illinois lost jurisdiction. Okay. So she literally says, the judge was not giving you anything. The judge shouldn't have given me anything because the judge didn't have jurisdiction to give me anything.
Scroll down to
Nor did they have jurisdiction to give Justin anything.
You really have to go down and show what her mindset really is.
Yeah. So let's just take a look at all of this right here. Yeah. Justin's child support obligation to you is terminated. Okay. Yeah, that was your goal all along, to swap custody. So I was being forced to be his ATM, even though he was paying next to nothing for 4 children. And then right here, Heather shall pay Justin $785 a month. Child support is due on the first day of the month, commencing May 1st, 2022. First of all, I was homeless, living in my RV here in Florida.
There was no
and I did not have a job. I literally had to leave my job in Illinois to come down here because the pandemic was ending and they wanted me back in the office.
Okay. We do need to speed up just a little bit here.
So anyways, stop talking to your Facebook groupies. Yes, I know. Stop contacting me. I have nothing for you. Nor was any of your property left here. I have zero respect for you. If I have to, I will get a restraining order against you.
Which hasn't
happened. She's threatening restraining orders, but she's my abuser.
There's no evidence.
I now have proof you were stalking my home. Lady, I was door dashing. I'm so sorry that people in your neighborhood order DoorDash. You were told by the Port Orange police you have no business in this neighborhood. Never happened. Let's look at the public records. That never happened. Police cannot tell me not to go to your Kingswood neighborhood because you don't like me. That's not how this works, Mary Serlick. Right. You don't own Port Orange.
Keep going.
All right, so you are such a dumbass.
This is coming from your children's grandmother.
Yep.
I want to remind everybody this is
Mary
supposed to be
Serlick.
your children's grandmother, and this is going back years ago. This is how she was addressing you.
Okay, well, actually, let's take a look at this one because this is her BFF and her flying monkey, Laura frickin' Stiles.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into how she got into the picture.
Let's see. You have no business in the neighborhood. You did on several occasions, not only in Laura's car, but Laura was driving. Okay, Laura was driving. How is that my fault if Laura went to Kingswood in Port Orange if she was driving, Mary? Yeah. What is wrong with you? Then you had to dupe your ex-fiance, Greg Shiver, into engage in the exact same stalking activity. What? You literally just said Laura was driving, and now I'm engaging Greg in stalking you. That would be Laura engaging in stalking you.
Yeah, don't keep going.
Anyway, so next line.
There's a lot.
You are such a dumbass. Your banks keep calling Laura and us regarding past due payments on all your vehicles. They would never call someone that's not a party to the finance. That's actually
illegal. The banks don't do that.
That's not a thing.
Once they realize you're not the person, they are prohibited from talking to you. So they can't even tell you that you have a past due payment.
I would never, ever co-sign with Mary Serlick. I actually begged Justin multiple times not to co-sign with his control freak mother.
Okay. Now I want to point out, because again, in this, she points out, she says, stop contacting me. Okay.
Again, stop contacting me.
2A, but...
Stop all contact, in person, via phone, blah, blah, blah. So this was actually triggered by my, at the time, boyfriend Greg Shivers calling Justin Serlick and Mary Serlick, trying to figure out why they were withholding my children from me. So it was Greg Shivers contacting her and emailing her, not me, but apparently other people doing things is all my fault. So anyways... you are 41 years old, chronically unemployed, and now you have to find your next victim. Moving on. Mary Serlick. Chronically unemployed. I've been in HR for 15 years until I moved down to Florida where I had to completely reinvent myself. How have I reinvented myself since I've been down here in 2022?
So you basically have completely flipped your career around and you've become a teacher.
So. And what else, though? What else am I doing?
You're working on your master's degree.
I'm in my master's program, halfway through it.
You've
graduate in 2 years.
Two nonprofits.
You started
your own marketing company.
LLC, Orbital Reach Marketing.
You serve on the board of directors for an organization down here.
Yep. And what am I doing in regards to my nonprofit to help other court victims?
So you're actually working on your paralegal certificate. Right now, so you can actually provide some assistance with document preparation
for other victims at no charge,
and help show people how to access stuff and file like public records
So
requests.
many people I've come across have no clue that there's websites. Like even today, someone had messaged me photos of their federal U.S. District Court complaint. And I had asked her, I'm like, can you please email me the actual PDFs so I can look at them on my computer when I get home from work? Photos are, on my phone. It's just hard to see court documents and read all of it legibly. She had no clue that she could go to Pacer and pull her entire docket. So I had taught her how to do that in Facebook Messenger today. Right. So many people don't even know the tech side of how to do this. So that's part of what I want to help people with. All right, so email number 2, the court order. This right here, guys, this is how I was served that 3-page illegal ex parte April 27th, 2022 court order. Mary Serlick served it to me, of all people. So there it is, the same order you've already seen. This was the first time I ever saw this court document. And what is the date, Pete?
June 19th, 22.
So when was it signed?
April 27th, 22.
Yep. So over 2 months later, I finally knew that this even existed because it was never properly served to me by their attorney or the Circuit 19.
By the time you found out about it, it was past the deadline where you could file to have it vacated.
Motion to vacate. Yep, 30 days motion to vacate. And we already know we couldn't appeal it, so I was stuck with this. So the only way to deal with it is Florida court. All right, so let's go on to look at another email. All right, here we go. Now now remember, what did she say? Stop contacting me. So here we go.
As anybody's watching the video, and when you're normally looking through your own Facebook feed and you see people there posting messages where they're typing in nothing but capitals, how does that make you feel?
Well, I mean, it's considered yelling. When you capitalize words, it's yelling.
Yeah.
But when everything is lowercase and just one word is capitalized, it's meant to give it tone. So you can try to pick up the tone in a sentence through text. But you can't do that when all of it's caps. This is just flat out yelling.
Yeah.
So you want to read that?
It's not really, but
All right, I'll just read it from my abuser. So this is my abuser emailing me the following.
This is pretty much out of the blue. You'll get emails like this.
Oh, all the time, the time, from different emails, and we'll show you what I'm talking about.
And I mean, I've gotten some too. So
all right, Heather, you are certifiable, batshit crazy. You deserve everything that life has given you. Again, deflecting your problems. You got arrested. You violated a court order of protection against you. No, Mary.
Hey, question: hasn't her son Justin been arrested?
Multiple times.
Okay, just clearing that up.
Yeah, he was arrested multiple times. The state of Illinois put a emergency protection order in place against Justin to keep the kids and I safe in 2010 because he shoved me down a flight of stairs, broke my tailbone, and Ariana and Tommy witnessed that. Oh yeah, the abuse has been going on for a very long time. So they literally will Darvo me in the emails. She's literally Darvoing me. None of this actually happened. None of this happened. Your action had the police call DCF. No, we have evidence that you called DCF multiple times. It's literally in the main report.
Yeah, and we know how DCF was contacted, when the last precipitating incident happened.
Right.
And it was not by the police.
They took your kids, not me. No, you just don't do any of your dirty work. You play behind the scenes. Own up to your plethora of lies and deceit, fraud and grifts. Sounds familiar. And when you state mistruths, be prepared to receive the consequences of your actions. You stole an Illinois vehicle title from Ira and I. Okay.
I didn't know you stole cars. Or
that
that's
would
just
be
saying the paperwork.
That would be a grand theft felony, right? If I stole a car title. It's not even worth going into, but she literally is in her own little Delulu land. Yes, there was a police report filed. Really, I'd love to see it. They wouldn't arrest you. Oh, how convenient. You're saying that I stole from you, but I was never arrested.
Yeah.
And arrest you, said take it to court. Okay, why have you never taken me to court, Mary Serlick? Because you're lying. You signed a lease to own contract with Ira and I. Yes, the Rockford home. Oh, you mean the Rockford home that you and Justin forced me into when I was 9 months pregnant because your loser son got fired from Rent-A-Center in Round Lake Beach, Illinois for literally taping over 100 door tags to a customer's garage, spelling out "call us."
Yeah.
And the customer filed a police report, and then Rent-A-Center fired your loser son. Yeah. And so I was forced to move 2 hours away from everything I've ever known in Round Lake to live in the ghetto.
When it says that you chose to flee in the night to Davis Junction, something happened that caused you to leave that home.
Absolutely, but we didn't flee in the night. It took us 2 weeks to move into that house because it was a brand new house.
Yeah,
it was still being built.
The thing that happened, that was the final straw that made you leave.
I chose a brand new house in the middle of
Why did you leave that
farms.
House? Why did you leave the house?
Many reasons. For one,
there was the final straw.
The final straw was our Mexican didn't speak any English, sweetest man possible. Our little Mexican ice cream, and they don't drive trucks in Rockford. They push around little ice cream carts. So they're literally walking along the sidewalk, and they're pushing this little cart, ringing a bell, and it's an ice cooler. 3 teenagers, while I was in the middle of nursing my daughter Ariana in the living room, decided to opened fire on the ice cream man over $10. So he was shot dead in our driveway, 10 feet from my living room window.
I think that's a valid reason to leave.
But on top of that, I was also dealing with a homeless, no, not a homeless shelter. I was dealing with a halfway house directly next door. So drug addicts, criminals, etc., directly next door, halfway house. Directly across the street was a homeless soup kitchen. So all the homeless people were constantly gathering in our front yard every Sunday. And then directly behind my house, on the other side of the garage, was a whorehouse, a legit whorehouse. And then on top of that, we had drive-by shootings almost every 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, I mean, people can look up the history of Rockford.
Great place to raise children,
so
Serlick.
the last part of the email is the last thing I want to cover with Mary's emails, really. And she says, you left your kids so you could go to Costa Rica, and claiming it was mandatory for a grade for a class that you were in.
Yeah, it's
Justin was still living in your house.
Yeah.
He's the children's father.
Yeah, so hang on. I went to Costa Rica twice.
Yeah.
I did 2 study abroads, and it's field biology, meaning you literally
have to go into the field.
You have to go into the field.
Not a field.
No, backcountry hiking. We were not staying in fancy hotels, nothing close to that. We were staying in eco lodges that didn't even have screens on the windows, with howler monkeys 4 feet away from the window, barking, whatever you want to call it, grunting at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was literally immersing myself in the rainforest as a geologist to get hands-on experience as a field scientist. But I went there twice, 2012. Was I married or divorced from Justin in 2012?
2012, you were still married.
I was still married. So I left my kids alone with their father and my husband. All right. I went back for a second field study in 2015. Now, at that point, we were
divorced, but he was still living in your house.
He was still living in my house.
And almost none of your even close friends even knew you were actually divorced.
Yeah. Pretty much for everyone, that most people in Round Lake area, Northern Illinois, they all thought Justin and I were still married, because I had to pretend to be a happy nuclear family when we were anything but. He was too busy abusing us and refusing to move out of my home so I could have a relationship with someone new. That is coercive control.
All right.
So,
is there any other emails from her? I don't want to dwell on her too much. It gives her too much.
Well,
thought.
let's go to the more recent ones from 2025. So these emails kicked back up again out of the complete blue.
Yeah.
You know, so we go from 2022, stop contacting me, to 2025, and it's this insane rant. And, you know, guys, we literally can spend an hour just reading this to you. I mean, look at this email, February 2nd, 2025. And who's that?
That's me.
That's you. She CC'd you.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to scroll slowly, just so you can see how abusive this person is. In all caps. Insulting me, berating me.
This is, it's pretty weird for somebody that doesn't want you to contact them to be sending you a really long, nasty message like this.
Here's a great one from such a loving grandmother.
Yeah, I was going to get to some of the language about that subject too in one of the messages I got, separate message I got. So you want me to read that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is, again, Heather's children's grandmother, Mary Serlick, sent this message to Heather, and it reads, oh, by the way, a message that Debbie told me. Now, Debbie is Heather's actual mother. Told me to give you after she was dead. I wish I never gave birth to her. She is spawn of Satan. Her exact words. Oh, she also told me not to tell you when she died. Neil called me. Did you get a call? No, because she didn't want you to know.
My father told me.
So this is literally the grandmother of Heather's children gloating that
my mother wanted me dead. Okay, well, first of all,
didn't want you to know when she died.
I really don't think any mother would call their child, whether they like them or not, spawn of Satan, because isn't that just insulting themselves?
I mean, that would infer that your mom was Satan, or your dad.
And I'm an only child, so
I've met your dad. He's a nice gentleman.
He loves his Ferraris. But you know, I'm sorry, but my mother would have never said anything like this because this is literally insulting yourself.
No, I mean, this is obviously, you can see you if somebody makes a comment like that, the full intention is to get, you know, under your, you know, the recipient's skin and you know, just get to their emotional state.
You know, honestly, a lot of this I don't even think I ever read, but why is she talking about my bone anchored hearing aid, my BAHA? What does that have to do with any of this? You had the nerve to tell Justin to cut the BAHA hearing aid out of your skull?
Yeah, that's... So,
what? Wow, yeah, so I never actually read this.
Yeah, no, that's a little crazy. And so even I know what happened with that. So, you know, Heather's deaf, but was born deaf in her one ear. At one point, you know, technology came around. The medical field thought that they could give her some sense of hearing with what's called a bone anchored hearing aid. What they do is they actually drill into your skull and implant a titanium post. And then that titanium post is inside. It's still in Heather's skull. And then there's an outer post that screws onto it, and then you actually clip on a hearing aid unit to the outside of your skull.
Oh, yeah. Well, we need to show this part, because this shows just how freaking lunatic she is. I really wish I read this. Maybe the loose wires in your skull are adding to your psychosis. Yeah. There's no wires in my skull. That's not how BAHAs work.
Yeah.
It is a titanium post, and then a microphone magnets onto it. It picks up the sound, and because bone is a sound conductor, it sends the sound into your good ear.
Oh, did you see the paragraph up above that where she says she called CLC?
No, because I think I never read this. I think I just filed it away and never read it.
Probably.
Anyways, I mean, you guys can see, and then this is just insanity.
One page.
She literally cut out all of the police report data, so she just provided the cover sheet.
Well, and what's funny is that was, she sent you that after you had already publicly posted the full police report.
So you want to play games with me and my family? Accepted. You're holding my children hostage. Any mother would fight for her children. Yeah. You just destroy children. So, anyways, so that was, there's 3 more in February, and it just goes on and on and on. Yeah. And then I'll go to the next one. It goes on and on and on. And she's literally sending me screenshots of my own Facebook posts. What the point of that is, no one knows. And then most recently, and this is actually what triggered me to just block her email completely. I am Serlick@gmail.com. I for Ira, M for Mary, because, you know, they're crazy like that. And Serlick.
People have shared email.
Yeah, shared emails, shared Facebooks. It's creepy as hell. Anyways, so she literally emails me again, February 19th, with just simply, keep lying, Heather, dig your hole deeper. With no context. She responded to an old email. She's literally having conversations with herself. So I literally respond with, and anybody that knows me knows that I...
very musically inclined.
I express myself through lyrics. I used to write music and poetry, very similar to Taylor Swift. And then I had a few childhood traumas that kind of pushed me away from that part of my artistic side. And so now when I want to express myself, I just post lyrics. So I literally responded to her crazy email with a copy of, what's his name? Jelly Roll, his Liar song, Jelly Roll. And so I sent the lyrics, because she literally is the epitome of this song. You ain't nothing but a liar. Walk right out of the fire. You try to keep me down, try to keep me underground, because this woman has literally been trying to get me to kill myself for over 20 years now.
I'll show you those messages.
But I'm only going higher. I can hear you in my head. I'm in my bed and I'm dreaming, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so she responds with, that's all you got? Lame ass music lyrics. Idiot.
So I do want to show something now so we can get out of the emails, but let me see the mouse. So I have a couple screenshots of a couple other messages here that some Heather received, some I received. So pull this picture up on the screen here and drag it to this one. Zoom in a little bit. Okay. So.
Oh, yeah. So this is from 2015.
So take a look at this. So this was,
this is in Illinois.
On Facebook, Heather had made a post. Now you see the search term for Justin just because we were trying to find documentation for some things. So this is Heather, basically copied a post from Mary Serlick. And this is...
Go ahead and read it.
Oh, yeah. It's just not safe anywhere. Proving a point here to the moron ex-daughter-in-law, Fox Lake is no exception. At a Fox Lake bar, Pug Mahone's,
directly behind our house,
was shot, and a patron suffered head injuries during a brawl early Saturday morning, according to local police. Yep, the same bar they love to go to.
Because it's directly behind our house. We can walk there.
So close to where they live with their kids.
Called not wanting a DUI.
And now here's the line, and anybody that thinks this is a wonderful, loving grandmother, I'm going to read this slowly so it sinks into people's head. This is her mindset, and so this has been going on for years. Just a damn shame that she wasn't the patron that got shot. So this is literally Heather's.
So remember that capitalizing is to emphasize words.
Heather's children's grandmother
wasn't shot.
Saying it's a damn shame that Heather wasn't shot. This is what Heather's been dealing with for 5 years. So,
well, no, this was in 2015. This is 10 years ago.
So
this is 10 years ago, people. Yeah. A decade, and this is just half of it. This has actually been going on since 2003 when I married into this psychotic family.
This comment here from this Jason Sickles. Who is he?
Jason Sickles was a friend of Justin Serlick and was heavy into drugs, and Justin was into drugs with him, and he had divorced his wife, Tressa Robles, who went to school with me. Her twin brothers also went to school with me, and so Jason had nowhere to go because Tressa wasn't letting him stay with her anymore, so Justin let him move in with us.
Okay, so here's another message. Now, this was an email I received because I was copied onto it, but it was sent to Heather. This is one that Heather did not read when it came in. She just filed it away, but because I got it too, I read it. So again, this was from Mary Serlick. It's iamserlick@gmail.com. She responded, let her know I appreciate her blocking me. So this is Mary obviously sending more messages and finally finding out that
read the
Heather
bottom.
blocked.
So remember,
I
was reading the email.
Yeah,
my
so this is what Mary Serlick sent to Heather. So I want to just make sure that's clear.
Well, let's read the original. My mother, Debbie Bose Bendel, loathed Jonathan Pashal, my first husband, and Justin Serlick. John and Justin were best friends. We all grew up together. I've known both of them since 15 years old. Just read the attached letter she wrote me, begging me not to move into that studio apartment in Waukegan, Illinois, with John Pashal and Justin Serlick in January 1999. That's when I turned 18. She was a victim of Neil Sidlacco, my stepdad. He literally drugged her to death, and my mother ended up dying of an amputated leg because she was drugged out of her mind on controlled substances for over a decade, was not taking care of her health, and she had to have her leg amputated because of her diabetes, and then she died of septic shock from that amputation.
So...
what a hell of a way to die,
so,
right?
Again, Heather makes this post because we were going through all the stuff that she had in her storage unit once we got it moved down here. Heather came across it was like a 7 or 8 page handwritten letter.
My mom used to write me handwritten letters begging me to stay away from these two boys. Yeah,
I read the letter. Heather did post the scan of it in the original post here, but
begging me to stay away from John and Justin. That's how long I've been abused by Justin Serlick.
Heather had made that original message and then gets a response from Mary Serlick. Actually, Heather, your mother hated you. Please dig your hole deeper.
And who did she CC that to?
Her son, Justin. As well as
Serlick at gmail.com.
Her new bestie, Laura Stiles.
BFF Laura Edna Stiles.
Who we're going to get to because she sends nasty emails too.
Oh, yeah. And she is certifiably insane.
Yeah, she's the one that seems to be more prone to trying to stir up bullshit
drama
and lies. So you want me to just show the messages I got? So we're just going to
transition. Are we transitioning to?
We're going to Laura
cue
now.
ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some of these are, and then we'll pull this up on the screen again. This is posts on Facebook
is this year.
From this. This was April 24th of this year, because this is after Heather started making live videos. So apparently it's this, when she writes it's referring to Heather. Live video tomorrow evening about how I'm supposedly stalking it, harassing it, and saying mean things about it.
I love that book. Stephen King. Go it.
But this message literally proves that she's stalking you, because you post about
We've got multiple pieces of evidence that prove that she is actively stalking me.
You post about
early as last night.
Yeah, you post about you're doing something, and then she's literally posting that she's reading what you post and going on about it.
So she's admitting that she's constantly viewing my social media. Yeah. That is stalking. I have not looked or even thought about this woman until she emailed me again last night. I do not care about this woman, and that's why she's obsessed with me. I want nothing to do with her.
So
it is a very narcissistic trait. When someone doesn't want to be around you, they put their teeth into you.
Yeah. So that was just a Facebook post she had made. Now, I'm going to show you two separate messages that were sent directly to me. Okay. So the first one, now I want you to, when I show you this, I want you to also take note here. See the profile picture and the profile name. Now she has
many of them.
So this was sent to me, I feel like it was within hours of us making ourselves Facebook official.
Yep.
Which
it probably wasn't even within 2 hours.
Yeah. So as soon as we made mine and Heather's relationship Facebook official, all of a sudden I get a direct message on Facebook Messenger from this person, Laura E. Stiles.
Edna.
Where, she's reading, basically it's trying to destroy our relationship. Mm-hmm. You need to get as far away from Heather Bendel as you can. Greg is
my ex-boyfriend.
Heather's ex-boyfriend.
That was reaching out to Mary Serlick and Justin Serlick, asking why he was withholding my kids.
Part of the reason why Heather is no longer with Greg is because he
is a raging alcoholic.
And
when he's drunk on
domestic
Fireball,
battery against you.
He is very abusive.
So this is Laura lying, saying Greg is not under supervision. He actually was. He was under pretrial release. We'll get into that too. He was. Then this is saying he was finally cleared and I guess referring case closed today. He pled no contest
was
and
there.
was sentenced.
Why is a 60-something-year-old woman at a 45-year-old man that she has no reason to be talking to, communicating with?
Again, I want to make it clear. The official.
This woman is so obsessed with me. She actually thought. Well, in her head, she thought she was dating my boyfriend.
But again, here I want to point out to anybody to make this stupid clear to them. This person is trying to gaslight, saying that Heather's ex-boyfriend, who was arrested, charged, pled no contest, and sentenced to domestic battery against Heather, she's trying to say it never happened. He was cleared. Nothing. Case closed. No, there's no supervision. No nothing. He was sentenced to probation and ordered to do anger management. Then it goes on to say that that Laura broke the lease to get away from the house that she was.
We were renting rooms together, so I found this house in Port Orange because.
And this is how you actually. How Laura Stiles came into your life.
Yeah. But, so I was recommended by someone that I met down in Florida to go to roomies.com because there's so many private colleges and then the flight academies. We've got Epic Flight Academy. So students will come in for the semester and then leave. So what's the point of them having a rental in an expensive area? They can just rent a room. So one of my friends told me about roomies.com. And so I was looking for a house, a room for rent in the Port Orange area because this is actually what my attorney in Illinois told me to do. Tow your RV down to Florida as soon as you can, convert your Illinois driver's license to Florida as soon as you can, and open a Florida case to fight for your children down in Florida. That is literally what my Illinois attorney told me on August 11th, 2021, when the kids were shipped down here. So I tow my RV down. I get down here December 6th of 2021. I find out about roomies.com in January 2021. And I reach out to a Gary Rutledge that has the room for rent on roomies.com. And Gary was 10 years older than me. We were both nerds. Our personalities just clicked. And I felt comfortable with him. And then he told me, and now looking back, I think this was all a setup. He told me, Laura just had COVID and she was in the hospital, so she's not really going to be available to meet. So why don't you just come and take a look at the house and tell me what you think? So stupid, naive me, here was my biggest mistake, decided to give Laura, without actually sitting down and having a real conversation with her so I can gauge her personality, her energy, because I can automatically tell if someone's energy is off. I just, stupid and naively, because I was desperate to get my Illinois driver's license converted to a Florida driver's license. You need a permanent address to do so. So I gave her $1,200, $600 for the room for 1 month, and then $600 deposit. She required a copy of my driver's license and a copy of my social security number, my card. So I gave her that. I move in January 25th, 2022. February 8th, 2022, I convert my driver's license from Illinois to Florida. And then at this point, this woman proceeds to literally latch on like a leech to my life. Everything about me, the guy I was dating.
There's something. The weirdest.
She has latched onto me.
When you first told me the story of your first date with Greg, I couldn't believe it.
Go ahead, tell them.
This lady who was just a roommate for Heather found out Heather's going on to a first date, and
at the restaurant he was a chef for.
Basically attached herself to Heather.
She saw that I was wearing a black and red floral dress to meet Greg for the first time at his restaurant. So she legit, this woman actually did a U-turn, went back to her bedroom and changed her blouse to a bright red blouse to outshine me. And then the whole time we were at dinner, she was just. But
regardless, it's
talking about him.
I'm like, it's the weirdest freaking thing that somebody just says, "Oh, you're going on a first date? Well, I'm coming with you." And then
changes their outfit to match you.
So let me get into this, because this is another message that I received directly from Laura Stiles. But if you notice, this is a different profile. This lady has many. I've lost track of how many profiles that have tried messaging you and me and other people that we've gotten messages from. So this is another one that was sent directly to me. Okay. You were warned, question yourself the first time she needs money, when she starts recording arguments, when she wants rough sex, that leaves marks. First time you disagree with her and she loses it.
I'm going to stop you real quick. Why in the ever-living hell is a 65-year-old woman messaging at the time you were 40, right?
Yeah.
About rough sex with his girlfriend.
And again, this is the very first message sent to me from this profile, and it goes into this. And then I'm trying to save you from the shit Greg and I went through. Good luck with that. So now, again, she's thinking she's with Greg or some shit like that. I don't know.
And I'm telling you, since the day she met Greg at the restaurant, she has literally in her brain viewed him as her boyfriend.
So the last...
Creepy as hell. 20-year difference.
Last thing I have here is, so this lady, and to be honest, we haven't looked at her shit, so we don't even know. If you look at her profiles, God only knows what the hell's on there now. But this is one, because this got forwarded to us, and she sits there and makes pictures
literally
like this.
Took this photo. This
within
was a
hours.
selfie.
This was within hours of you posting this.
I literally took this photo. I am a board member on a young professionals group, Volusia County Young Professionals Group, VYPG. I'm a board member in the community service. And we were doing a food drive this night, and so the food is sitting in a bin on the floor next to me. And so I took a selfie of myself because I was collecting the food to distribute to the Daytona Community College. No, Daytona State College. They have dorms there, and they donate food to the students. So I'm smiling. I actually love this photo of myself. I think I look happy and healthy, and I don't look like I'm being abused. If you look at photos of me while I was living with Justin and then look at photos of me now, it's so obvious I was being abused. Yeah. So she literally stole this photo, which is copyright infringement. She stole this off of my Facebook and then turned it into a meme and then posted it on her Facebook.
And I just want to point out this is like a third Facebook profile. If you look at it, it's different Facebook, different profile picture than the other two.
This is the insanity and level of cyber stalking and harassment I've been dealing with since I met this woman, Laura Stiles. January 25th of 2022.
I've received some other messages. I'm not going to show them because they do relate to my job. But this lady, Laura Stiles, she actually also, and we've mentioned it before, she showed up to my office the day after a court hearing where I testified on Heather's behalf. Full attempt for, you could call it witness tampering, intimidation, whatever you want to call it. But
witness tampering.
I had to file a police report.
What it was.
I had to file a police report. I had to notify, my corporate global security. It was ridiculous. Completely unwarranted, uncalled for.
Misty pageant. That's Rockford for you, just as bad as Chicago. Yeah. Yeah, when I was a kid in the mid-'90s, I would actually take the Metra from Round Lake, Illinois to downtown Union Station, and I felt safe walking our city, and I definitely don't anymore.
So now I'm going to pull this up because, and if you remember, a couple of those messages...
we didn't even show Laura's emails yet.
No, we didn't.
All the insane amount of emails.
Do you want to show them
first?
Yeah,
because I absolutely want to show the whole world what she sent me last night. Out of the blue. From a new email address. Literally confirming she's still stalking me. She literally confirmed in an email.
Good. I think we lost the tab then.
She's still stalking me.
I'm sorry.
No, it's the email.
Okay.
Show folders. Down.
Here. It's on you.
All right. So we're going to switch.
I'll flip it to the screen when we
need to flip to that. All right, so I legit have a folder named Mary Serlick, and a folder named Laura Stiles, and a folder named Greg Shivers, and we'll show you why.
I'm gonna go check on our cats real quick. There's an issue downstairs.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to explain. Did you share the screen? I don't.
Hit the desktop button. So this is gonna be to go to the desktop.
Okay. All right. So these are all the emails from Laura Stiles harassing me. And there are multiple different email formats. So May 2022. So coinciding with when Mary Serlick was emailing me. Okay. So she's just harassing the crap out of me. We're not going to go through all of them. But sent from my iPhone. And you're still psychotic, you're still full of crap, and you still have self-inflated sense of self-worth. And these emails would literally come in out of the blue, like she was having a full-blown conversation with me. So, so the 2022, scrolling up, 2023.
And these are a bunch of different emails too.
Literally nothing from 2024.
She sends you an email, you block it, and she changes, sends you another email.
And I'll show you my rejection folder where I have to enter her email and have her emails rejected, which is a form of blocking. So 2022, 2023, 2025. So here's more emails from her just coming in from different emails. Let's see. This is me forwarding her emails to Mike Chitwood, our sheriff here in Volusia County, who refuses to do his effing job.
Yeah, which is that's a storyline we've heard now.
Oh, okay. So here's this. Why don't you read this since it's about you?
Yeah, and this is, I don't even remember if I got this one directly or not. I probably did, but
Mary?
Yep, no, she sent it to me too.
Yep, and she also sent it to Mary, and then Mary's friend Val from McHenry.
Yeah, all right.
Val Breeden helped Mary Serlick steal my children.
Stop scrolling so I can read it here for people. All right, let's add a few more truths for Pete. So again, this is them trying to mess up mine and Heather's relationship. She didn't move out on me at the house on Calistoga. My neighbor reported her to the HOA for several things, and I made the decision to move after her antics.
Yeah. So read the next paragraph.
Imagine my surprise getting a letter from the HOA.
Yeah, and then go from there.
You want to scroll down. All right. I took a transfer at work and moved. So again, she's saying she broke her lease to get away, and then in the very next paragraph saying she got a transfer at work and just she moved on her own. So pick a storyline. It says Heather couldn't qualify for the house and lost her job.
But actually, I have emails proving that I did qualify for the house.
And the only reason you lost your job was because you were working in healthcare, and
HIPAA.
it was you were working remotely, so you were working out of the house.
Federal still requires us, even working remote, to follow HIPAA rules.
She would literally break into your room.
The lock on my bedroom door.
And she walk
in and started talking while I was on a Zoom call with my supervisors going over a patient's chart.
Yeah. So, and then I took the email off the screen because I realized it talked a little bit about my job. Again, it's part of the reason I had to file the police report when she showed up at my office.
So let's get it back up because I want to show people the email from last night. So this came in last night
completely out of the blue. And
so as you can see, and this all coincides with Mary Serlick's emails. They were literally tag teaming me like the psychos they are. Tweedledee and Tweedledum, whatever you want to call them, frickin' frack. You know, two peas in a psychopod.
Yeah.
They both were emailing me in February of this year and matching the timelines. Yeah. So out of the blue, the last email from her is February 24th. Why? Because I blocked like many emails from her.
And you had made a post. Yeah, let me explain sort of why. Like, this didn't truly come out of the blue. I mean, it did, but you had made a post on Facebook. You were so proud of your classroom. You had taken a bunch of pictures of your classroom because it's finally starting to look like a marine biology teacher's classroom. And you posted the pictures, but anywhere you could see the school name or the school district, you sort of blocked it out because they're
stalkers and they literally reach out to Pete and I's employers.
Okay, but
she literally was trying to get Pete fired from his company.
Yeah. So open up the email. So again, out of the blue, you get, now I want to first point out the email address is and at proton.me. The only person that either of us know that uses proton.me is Laura Stiles. So the message reads, then you can stop blacking out the school you work for. We are all aware Cypress Creek High School have the kind of day you deserve. So
I did. I had a great day yesterday and today.
This is literally Stiles admitting to stalking you because clearly she saw your Facebook post and sent you this message in a response.
Within hours. I made that post while we were at dinner at Half Wall around 6 p.m. What time is the email?
10:36 p.m.
Within less than 5 hours, she had stalked my Facebook and created, it's obvious she just created this email and called herself MSCUNT.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, so, I mean, again, it's this has been the MO is Heather will block an email and then she'll create another one. Unless this is Mary Serlick, MS. Yeah. I mean, when you want to name yourself
I mean, that would make more sense if this was my ex-mother-in-law. But they're literally frickin' frack. Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah. So
Twinsies.
Yeah.
They're both crazy.
So, yeah,
But hey, the positive side of things, I no longer have to be secret about where I work. I am proud of my school. I am a Bear, and I come from Chicago, so the Chicago Bears, the Bears. I am a ranger at UW Parkside, my alma mater.
Which are also Bears.
Which are also Bears. So now I am once again, as an actual educator, a Bear.
Sorry. I just love the No.
It needs to be the Microsoft quack. Whack, whack.
Yeah, we can
Anyways,
program that.
so I mean, this is these two 65-year-old hags admitting to stalking me in real time and stalking my place of employment in real time, completely unprovoked. I never sent either of these two crazies an email. I want nothing to do with them. This is 100% unprovoked.
Okay.
So thanks to admitting to you stalking me.
Yeah. What else do we
all
got?
you did was just give me more evidence for my federal case to sue your ass. Anyways, so we're going to shift finally to Greg Shivers. So we've shown you the two 65-year-old crazies.
Yeah.
Let's now show you the deal with Greg Shivers.
Yeah. So remember, well, first we're going to, before we pull up the emails, pull up the inmate information tab. So again, in prior messages,
can see how
hold on,
drunk he
so
is.
it's on the screen now. So there, in prior messages, and messages sent out to other people, Laura has, and or Mary, have alleged that this guy who's Heather's ex-boyfriend was never charged. Everything was dropped. You know, he's a saint, whatever. So we did find something interesting today because we were pulling up the information and we found out.
I have no idea what I saw. The only thing I can think of I saw in this guy is that he was a musician.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and he was, I mean, you've said he was just like the complete opposite.
He was.
In some respects.
Now that I know the actual personality was, he's not much different than John or Justin at all.
Again,
they're all the same.
This is public information, so I'm not sharing anything that's not wide open to the public right now on the screen. But this mugshot was taken the night he was arrested for domestic battery against Heather.
And you can tell he was running his mouth while they were taking the photo.
So now I want to show you something because basically here's a case number, right? So we're going to copy this because this is something
interesting. We just found out tonight when we were prepping for this podcast.
Freaking doesn't want to technology. Okay, so copying that case number. So you can see, I mean, this is the Volusia County, Volusia Mugshots, Volusia County Corrections website. So you can look up anybody that gets arrested here in Volusia County. You see the charge of battery.
I encourage you guys to look me up. You won't find me because I'm not a criminal.
But this was, the night he was arrested. So, and then the case was open. There's the case number. Okay. So that being said, then we go here to Volusia County.
Now, remember, this is the public access version.
So anybody can see this. Yep. So you go case history. Sometimes the websites are slow to respond.
Yeah, clerk.org is really slow.
So, all right. So here again, his name is published. So we're going to search his name first.
And here's some manipulation.
This is what we found. So we put his name in because that's the easiest way to search, and that case seems to be missing. So you have a couple prior cases. I think some of these were vehicle related. I don't know what they all were. And then this was an eviction. Okay, so that's what's showing. But the weird thing is that the 2022 domestic battery case isn't showing up. Okay, so let's reset the search. Now we have the case number because we have the mugshot public record. Okay, so there is a case, and
it's sealed. Surprise!
At some point, that case got sealed. So
never was notified of that, and I'm the victim.
So Heather has reached out now to the state attorney to find out what happened. Now,
where's the case?
We do know because she has bragged about it that Laura Stiles does have connections with the clerk of the court's office.
She absolutely has connections with Volusia County Sheriff's Office.
So again, anyways,
we have emails with her emailing Mike Chitwood.
When we do find out information about what happened with this case, we will share it. But I know because before it was sealed, I had looked at this, case file here, and I can tell you, Greg was charged. Mm-hmm. He was prosecuted. Mm-hmm. He pled no contest. Mm-hmm. He was sentenced to probation and anger management. Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to switch to the emails with proof. All right. You can go ahead and switch it back.
Okay.
All right, so this is the very, very beginning. I met him in February 2022 when I was living with Laura Stiles, and we had no reason to email each other until May of 2022 when I was in the process of moving out and getting away from him and his abusive alcoholism. So just to give you an idea, this is all the way back in 2022. Let's start slowly scrolling.
A lot of emails.
At the amount of emails. And oftentimes he would just email me and say like one or two things. I'm sorry. Congrats on the job. I know you'll do great.
Now, I started getting messages from Laura around July of 23 when we announced our relationship publicly. And according to the messages from Laura, Heather was this evil, horrible person that did horrible things to Greg. It would make sense. Greg would want nothing to do with Heather at that point.
Okay. So let's take a look at this. This is June 2nd, 2023. So this was after he was arrested. Michelle Simonson from State Attorney Office, circuit7.org. Pretrial status, State versus Gregory Shivers, 2023-303-486 MMDB. Good morning, Ms. Bendel. The ASA assigned to this case is Miss Crimmins. Her assistant is Miss Johnson. Their contact number is blah, blah, blah. I did look at the clerk's website, clerk.com, and saw Mr. Shivers and his attorney appeared in court yesterday and requested a continuance in the case. The next court date is pretrial conference on July 6th. Okay? Mm-hmm. So that is the assistant state attorney communicating with me about his arrest.
Because it's mandatory in Florida. It's under, I think it's Marcy's law.
So we're just going to keep going. Look at all these. So now we're in 2023.
Yeah, and this
and
is
he
where
just keeps going.
Yeah, but at this point now, our relationship is public. You and me met.
Yeah,
we've been dating for some time now.
That's a good point. Let's put this in perspective.
I'm getting messages from Laura that you did all these horrible things to Greg, and if you actually had done any of this stuff to Greg, why on earth is this dude sending you all these messages? According to this Laura Stiles and Mary Serlick, you know, this was all false allegations against Greg, and he was never prosecuted, never anything like that.
So let's take a look at how many.
By the way, there's video that Heather did record the night this all happened, and it's very obvious he was in a drunken, abusive
literally
state.
Pulled a knife on me on video, which is why he had to just take the plea deal because he would have been looking at jail time if he didn't. They had all the videos of him pulling a knife on me, him blockading me in the bathroom, him throwing things at me, and then him lifting up the Murphy bed and throwing me backwards against the wall, which is what put me in the hospital.
I've literally seen all the videos, so it happened.
Yep, it is real. It happened, and it very much sucked. I was naive and trusted a Florida man. Anyways, so we are going to move on. So December of 2023, Pete and I are living together for over 4 months at this point. We're, talking about furthering our relationship and everything. And here is Greg still emailing me with kissy faces, hearts, praying. There's the heart again. Why? Okay, so we're literally in August of 2024. So we've been together for over a year at this point, and he's still sending me emails with hearts.
But according to Laura and Mary, you did evil to this person, and he hates you.
And so we're in September 2024. I'm still getting emails from him. I block one email. He'd send me another one. Here's more hearts. Blah, blah, blah. This is all in the same day, September 4th, 2024. So last email was
the top one is just you asking for information.
So I literally emailed the prosecutor, but last email from him was September 2024. Thank God it finally stopped. But finally, I want to show you in my email settings what I have to do between Mary Serlick, Laura Stiles, and Greg Shivers.
I just went to just us on the screen because I didn't want anything came up.
So Comcast doesn't necessarily allow you to block emails like Gmail does. You have to create a mail filter and reject them, and then it has to send with a reason. I just want you guys to see how many emails I have had to block of Greg Shivers and Laura Stiles. And so there's Mary Serlick being blocked, Laura Stiles, another Laura Stiles, Laura Stiles. That was a different person, Laura Stiles, another different person. And then the most recent email. Yeah, I got that email and I just immediately put it to rejected because I don't need this chaos. So now the advocate, we're going to rotate back to that. Mm-hmm. The advocate that is making these public Facebook posts, regurgitating what these two psychos are telling him. It's public for the whole world to see. So I wanted everyone to see just how bad the harassment is. Yeah. Okay? Yeah, so that's that.
I was going to say, did you can't see the date on when you set those rules in place, right?
It's just a filter rule. So anyways, we're going to close this out with one final piece of evidence to prove that this advocate, this warrior is not about truth and transparency.
But so again, it just blindly accepting as truth what is being said to him by Laura and
here's
Mary.
The thing.
And they're literally out there telling people you did not graduate college.
Why was it so hard for this advocate to just reach out to me and say, hey, I'm getting a lot of disturbing messages from people. Can you show me proof? Not only did I email him my entire Illinois and Florida docket, but I could have easily, I'm showing you guys now, easily jumped in a Zoom video with him and shown it all of it in real time before it even got to what this is.
When he did post a message, and then you communicated with him, where the first time he said he was getting messages from people calling you a train wreck and whatever, he was never specific about what people were telling him.
No.
Because if he had been specific, we could have brought up specific, evidence for rebuttal, so to speak. But again, these minions out there spreading false information have asserted or made the statements that Heather never graduated college, that she doesn't work, that she, who knows, whatever. But I can tell you she did graduate college. I've seen her transcripts. Her degree is literally hanging on the wall down in our office.
And so we're going to end the episode with proof of my education and proof that I am a public school teacher. Yep. And this is more. Anyone can see this. You can go to Florida Department of Education, FLDOE.org, and you can publicly see, I'm not logged in, you can publicly search for a teacher's license. So here is evidence that I am on a temporary teaching certificate, which just simply means that I have not taken the tests for my subject matter yet. And I have 5 years. This is part of DeSantis's fast track. He did something very similar for veterans to get veterans in the classroom and get them back and employed.
And you are able to teach Earth and space science, and general science.
Yep. So general science is middle school, so 5th through 9th grade. So I can teach 5th through 9th grade middle school general science. And then my specialty, which is my actual major, Earth-space science. So I'm an Earth scientist.
Anything Earth related.
Exactly.
Which in this case is including marine biology, which you are having a blast teaching.
I am. It's everything I am passionate about. I'm talking to my students about climate change and what we need to do to, deal with that as humans with impact. I'm talking to them about hurricanes, which I've been studying most of my life. Yeah. I'm talking to them about the ocean, the environment, everything planet Earth, and I am absolutely adoring it. So, since Laura Stiles emailed me last night bragging about it, I can basically go public now with where I work. So I do work for Orange County Public School District, and you can see it right here. It's reflected as such on my license.
Now, it's not up on the screen yet. Right now. I mean, I already showed it, but
just go ahead and put it up. Okay. Yeah. So on my license, on Florida Department of Education, it literally shows my place of employment. So odds are this is probably how Laura figured out exactly where I'm working and then decided to continue snooping and stalking from here. But this is open to everyone to see. Feel free to verify. I have a Florida temporary teaching certification, and I'm currently employed with Orange County Public Schools teaching marine biology.
Yeah. So now just to sort of bring everything back together, again, the reason we made this video tonight, and we've unfortunately, this is not the first time we've had to go over a lot of this information. A lot of people who are dealing with similar issues are going to have, like, this is going to hit home for them, because they're, people out there know that
Absolutely.
you've got family members of your ex that
It's called gang stalking. There's an actual term for what is happening to me. It's called gang stalking. And Marianne Petrie on her podcast, Slam the Gavel, she talks about this all the time. I actually learned that term from her.
So that being said, everybody's got their own opinions, but we're presenting, facts.
I bring receipts.
Yeah,
you're gonna call me certain things, disgusting things. I'm gonna bring the receipts and prove you wrong.
The other side of this, as they're trying to spread lies about Heather, they make very vague accusations in a lot what
I'd really like to know what receipts they provided this specific advocate that is now regurgitating their lies. What evidence did they present to him?
Just the last point I want to make is your case did not originate with any child abuse charges. In fact, you've never been charged with child abuse. It's never.
I would not be a public school teacher if that was the case. They do FBI background checks.
That was never part of the, what was being held over your head. What originally started your case. They alleged that you failed to provide proper housing, food, and education.
So no. It wasn't even that. The only term on the reason for kidnapping my children from Kitty Cottage Daycare, failure to provide proper shelter.
Okay.
Because this was March of 2020, and the chaos with Justin Serlick triggered us to get bumped, not evicted, because our lease was ending at the end of March anyway. So it ended up not being an eviction. There's no eviction on my record. You would see it if there was. There was no eviction whatsoever. We made an agreement with my landlord that we would move out at the end of the month because the lease was up. However, when did the pandemic start in the nation? March 15th of 2020. So we move out of that house that I'd been in. The lease was only in my name. I had been in it for 9 years. That was the only home my kids really had a memory of. And then the pandemic is in full swing. Our fat Governor Pritzker decides to put a housing freeze on the entire state of Illinois, all of 2020, so no one can move out or move in. So what do you think that means for the kids and I? We have nowhere to move.
Yeah, and you ended up in domestic violence shelters.
Exactly.
But ultimately, again,
they literally used what Pritzker did in Illinois with the housing freeze to steal my children from me.
So they just to clarify this point, so they originally took your kids with the allegation of that you failed to provide proper shelter. However, you had receipts. You literally, your attorney showed, came in with all of the hotel records, the letters from the domestic violence support groups.
We were in nice hotels.
You had, you had the receipts for payments,
Holiday Inn,
everything. So
Candlewood Suites, which was basically apartments.
When they could not stand with that allegation, they basically dropped it, and then they switched over
with Justin and Mary's.
They switched over, and we actually have the DCFS reports where it literally says, that Justin made statements XYZ, and so they basically flipped it around to just leave a very broad general
with no psychological evaluation, mentally unfit. And they ran with it.
And I know
no psychological evaluations at any point.
Hundreds, if not thousands, of you out there in family court issues, you have probably heard the exact same, charge against you, and there's almost no way to fight it. And that's the design. So. Yep. With that, again, we've addressed a lot tonight. There's more that we could have addressed. We have more emails, more stuff, but it just at some point it just gets tiring. We tried to keep this light and kind of tried to keep it a little fun, but it is serious.
It's exhausting. It is absolutely exhausting that I have to do damage control because a certain advocate that claims he's all about truth and transparency wants to attack me when all I'm trying to do is educate the general public, educate our politicians. Hell, I'm literally flying to DC with Mark Ludwig and his team to help educate on Title IV reform and hopefully get some support for this so we can start actually making real changes in this country. Our children deserve better. Our children's children deserve better.
With that, we're going to call it a night because it's late. Heather has to
get up early
to teach. I have to get up early to do my job. Tomorrow we are going to, Heather will go live with a short special video.
Just from my son turns 18 tomorrow.
Tommy's 18th birthday.
So we're going to make a special live just like I did with Ariana, just like I did with Bianca. Now it's Tommy's turn. And then in January, I will have a special message for my son Charlie when he turns January 12th is his birthday.
With that, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.